Well, hello, Bob Dendry here, and welcome back to Transport Fever 2, where we are building the Reno, Thousand Oaks and Roseville Railway. This video is brought to you by Patreon, so if you're interested in learning a little bit more, have a look at the link in the description. Now, in this episode, I want to start over here near Santa Clara, because we've got our next sort of, bottleneck in our network that we need to look at solving. And that is, after Santa Clara, where we've got double track, we drop down to single track. And this is still a fairly heavily used corridor, so it doesn't quite work out how we need it to. As you can see, if we head off towards Fontana Junction or Santa Clara Junction, no, it's Fontana Junction. Look at all these, trains stacking up. So clearly, we don't have enough capacity on the network to make this happen. So, well, what I'm going to be doing here, we will upgrade double track all the way through to Rancho Cucamonga station here, and that should solve most of our issues, if not all of them. We might get a crossing loop in over here as well, which should just lessen the load on this spur as well. So let's get started. We will pause as we are going to break some lines. I'm going to delete all of these lines here, just so we can set up sort of our baseline network type thing. We'll also take the opportunity to upgrade this to high speed as well. Alright, so these are going to be our two sort of main trunk lines. We'll get rid of those overheads as well, because we don't need those right now. And everything else is just going to be sort of feeding into that. Now I've got a problem, we've got too much slope. It is unfortunate. Don't know why there's too much slope, because it looks fine to me. So we might just quietly override that. It's probably that bit there that's too much slope, isn't it? Rather than the track itself. Lovely. That should be all the connections we need to make there. Next, we're just going to hook up this to our existing line. We're going to duplicate it. And then need to make some slight modifications here as well. Construction not possible, apparently. I think it's well and truly possible, but okay. Why is it not possible? Take it back a little bit further. Yeah, don't know why it wasn't possible, but it is now. We need to make this little connection here. Perfect. And here we're going to need to reconfigure some stuff a little bit as well. So we're going to need to redo this bridge because the join wasn't really wide enough. So we'll lay down our ground track here, and then we'll build a new bridge over the top of it. Does that work? Doesn't really, so I don't know why you are not complaining about it. How about now? That is definitely not up to load and gauge. I'm saying it right now. There, that just about works. Just realized I haven't switched back to high-speed track. That's unfortunate. That should fix pretty much everything. Who's complaining at this point? Everyone's complaining, actually. Oh, okay. What connection have I missed? That one right there. Okay, so just Indianapolis to Rancho Wood is an issue here, is because we haven't actually connected that one up yet. Cool, okay, so that one's an easy fix. Now we just need to connect up to the other side. There we go. We're going to press play again while we signal, just so we can start getting some new cash in. But yeah, we're pretty much good to go with this new extension to the line. So that's pretty exciting, I would say. Okay, perfect. So this should hopefully quite significantly, I guess, speed up the flow of traffic through this section of track. Fingers crossed. There's always a possibility that it will break things, but I'm hopeful that this will really help out with getting traffic moving. Alright, and it's now about time for us to start exploring the expansion of our western corridor. Obviously at the moment it's just 2 stations, so we can do better than that. We did have a look at crossing over the line here last episode, but I think right here is actually going to be quite an affordable connection to make, so I think we might see how much that's going to cost us. So we'll switch over to overheads and high speed, and let's see if we can make a connection right here. In fact, okay, not right there, right here. That seemed a little bit too good to be true. That's really cheap though, isn't it? Only 13 million, so if we switch that over to a high speed, 26. Pretty good value, so I'm gonna just punch that in right there. And let's have a look at Oklahoma. So it looks like probably our best bet is to have a station in this direction here. The reason for that is that we want to connect this line up to Charlotte. And we will have a line from Charlotte crossing over and going over to Athens. So having a station set here, I think, is going to be what is going to be best value for us. And it'll be sort of the easiest to have those 2 movements on. So I'm going to put a new connection right here. Obviously, we don't have much passenger coverage of where this station is going to be, so we'll set up some buses as well. But we'll just focus on getting our rail infrastructure set up to start with. We're going to go for a 4-track, 320 meter long station, which we should be able to squeeze in right here. And I think our connection here is going to be fairly simple to make. So if we can just squeeze that in here. Pretty easy. We're going to be able to get a track in here. Ooh, not quite. We might need to redo that one. So there's obviously going to be complaints because this is a town to town connection. What we'll do, we'll switch over the we'll switch over the road to be sort of coming from out here, I think. In fact, we can... I don't like that, actually. So that connection there is fixed. Lovely jubbly. And hopefully we can fit this in now. Perfect. Let's go ahead and make the connection. Lovely, we can afford that. Next, what we're going to be doing is we'll probably need to do a bit of tunneling, but we will take this this track, and we're just going to sort of punch it straight across to probably in the middle of our tunnel, I would say. And we might get rid of some of this extra track as well in case it causes any issues making that happen. What is this? This is the outside track. Cool. So I want to make sure I'm connecting the right track. So there we go. That connection's made there. That was actually reasonably cheap. Cheaper than what I thought it would be anyway. And we'll just make the connection back the other way. Perfect. Oklahoma City is connected. Next, we want to get Anchorage and Baton Rouge done as well. Now, going from Oklahoma to Anchorage, I think will be a little bit of a struggle. If we have a look at our contour lines, yeah, we've got a number of contour lines sort of quite suddenly from Oklahoma, but then we're pretty much on a flat. One thing that I do want to keep in mind as well is that we will have a crossover happening here. So these tracks will be for Charlotte. So we're going to need to cross over those. There's probably not going to be any interaction between the two lines at this point. But I think what's going to be easier for us, and what's going to work with the fact that we've got some challenging contours here, is if we immediately start to take our Western Corridor line down. So I'm going to build this stretch of track. This is just a bit of a placeholder for where we're going towards Charlotte. And then what we're going to do is we're going to start bending off pretty much straight away, and we're going to go down as hard and as fast as we can. So I think if we do this and then we bend around, we should be almost... There we go, perfect. I was going to say we're almost tunneling, but there we go, we're tunneling. And then we can just punch this through without too much issue at all. This is a very low speed section of track here, but I'm okay with it. It's just what we need to do, I think. There's not really much escaping it. Now, we might need to start sort of trying to bend. Actually, so how far are we going to be bridging for? Or sort of bridging for? It's not too bad. I think we should be right to build this up as a bit of a mound. Yeah, I think that works fine. And then I think we're pretty much good to just start punching straight across, and we'll come at Anchorage from the left of screen. So we've got a nice easy connection towards Baton Rouge. But we are out of money. Ooh. That should be fine. I think we won't be waiting too much longer to get some cash in. But let's have a look at Baton Rouge while we're waiting for that to come in. So we've got a reasonable spread of residential here. I think what we'll do, we will build a new road across here. And we will have that sort of wide sweeping connection come straight in here. Perfect. So we've got more money in. So let's make that happen. So we'll do this as our connection. We will get rid of this connection here, which I don't think we'll need to rebuild, at least not right now. Alright, next, Baton Rouge. This is a little bit more of a complicated design, isn't it? But I think we should put our station in this little gap here, and then we can punch through as few buildings as possible to get through. So what we might do, we'll get rid of these two cross streets here. We'll lay down our station sort of roughly here or so. I'm trying to get it at ground level, of course. So I think right there is good. What I'll do, I will get a secondary building as well. And then we will make road connections on both sides. Cool, so we've got that connection there. And then, yeah, we're just going to punch through here, I think. And hopefully we can try and minimize the number of buildings we're removing by doing that. We just curve around here a little bit. Hopefully we don't have to remove any other buildings. Perfect. All right. And if we look, it's a fairly straight connection there. So I think we should be able to go through this little sort of valley-ish thing here. Of course, we'll need to build a little tunnel, but that's okay. And then, yeah, we're pretty much there. We have a collision. Oh, yeah, we do have a collision, don't we? Okay, could we tunnel a little bit there? It doesn't seem to want to tunnel. in fact, at all. It does. It's rejecting the tunnel. Oh no, never mind. It's now accepting the tunnel. Okay. So there we go. And then could we connect back up here? Oh, it's actually a bit of a challenge, actually. But let's see if we can make it happen. Yep. Perfect. We've got large sections of tunnel on this line, but it's going to be pretty exclusively electric. We might have some freight diesels running on here, but it's primarily going to be electric, so I'm okay with it having long sections of tunnel. Okay, but that's the line itself built. So I'm going to quickly go through. We're going to add all our like crossovers and signaling and stuff like that, and I'll see you on the other end. Why is it saying too much curvature? I disagree with that. Alright, that's fine. We might need to give it a bit of a separated connection like so. Alrighty, that is done. So now we can grab the line and fix it up. So let's go ahead and add our new stations. Beautiful. So we'll need to get a new train on this, I would say, but probably we don't have quite enough cash in hand to make that happen, but that's all right. So I'm really excited to see how this runs. We should hopefully start getting some passengers waiting. But we might need some public transport in some of these areas, and I'm thinking Oklahoma definitely needs it. So we'll go ahead and get that sorted as well while we're here. Over in Anchorage, our coverage is reasonably good, so I might not bother with the bus just yet. And at Baton Rouge, let's have a look. Yeah, pretty good there as well. So I think they're okay right now, but let's see how it runs. Okay, let's reacquaint ourselves with how much it's going to cost to make this connection here, because it was quite expensive. So let's see what we're looking at now. So that's a stone bridge. We want a lot of money, isn't it? 89 million. Can we cut that down at all? We're definitely going to need to be going down, I feel like. So if we're just heading down all the way, 79, it's not completely ridiculous. So yeah, that's actually not terrible. So keep that one in mind. That might be our next big, purchase decision we make. Is to build a massive bridge with, I would say, an uncertain economic return on it. Alright, so we've very quietly ticked past $90 million in the bank. So I'm wondering, can we make this bridge connection now? Let's have a look and see. So once again, we're wanting to take this across and start heading down during the span of the bridge. And if we change that over, 81 million. Okay, so done. Look at that. That's like the single biggest purchase we've made. So let's see. We're probably going to run out of money very shortly, but can we now start to make our way down and connect up over here? It looks like we can. And I think it should be an okay connection. Oh, maybe. Maybe not. Oh, actually not a great connection, is it? Oh, hang on. I'm breaking stuff, sorry. So this is a straight up connection we're making here. Ah, fuck. Did not mean to do that. What we were meaning to do is build... okay. Oh, okay. Hang on. We might be okay here, actually. Can we just connect directly? Not quite. No, we want to be going straight up, actually. What am I talking about? Surely that's close to connecting up, right? Surely. That's even too high, I reckon. I reckon there's good. We'll switch this to an embankment. And can we connect? Too much slope. In which direction? In which direction is the too much slope? Because it look. Whoa! Hang on a sec. What is that? Not what I want to do. Okay, it's in that direction. Okay. I think we can do this fairly easily. I am struggling a little bit, but I think we should be able to connect up to this bridge without too much hassle. Oh, look at that. Oh, fuck, we didn't connect up. Why do I keep doing this? Love it. Okay, so we've got our connection. We need to build a second one, of course. So it's not all, you know, flowers and perfume or something. And that's still going to be fairly expensive. Let's see how much we're going to be charged for making a second connection. $40 million. Actually, it's better than it could be. It's half the price of the initial connection. So that's not too bad. But yeah, it's going to take a little while for that cash to come in. All right, we've got the cash in hand. So let's make this connection. Beautiful. And we'll continue this down to Athens. This is going to be a challenging connection, I think. We've got quite a lot of a grade between the two towns. So let's see if we can get that to work. So we want to be on this side here. This is where our residential is. And I might just delete this road. And let's see if it'll work. This will be a terminus station. This one will only be 240. This is not going to be a main line. It's going to be more of a branch. And let's see if we can make this connection happen. Ah, I hate you so much. Get out of here. Now I'm out of money. Thanks, town. So, yes, this is going to be quite a challenge. How can we make this work? We pretty much want to be going probably straight out and straight down, I would say. And it's probably going to be a bit of a sort of a curved descent, I would say. Can we do a direct connection? Oh, actually, that was not as difficult as I thought it would be. Okay, but it is, you know, pretty much an underground rail line, so we need to keep that in mind. This is expensive, probably not all that realistic, especially for a small town. But it is what it is. We play for fun, not necessarily for realism, though we do try and keep things somewhat realistic most of the time. But yeah, I think that's a pretty good connection there. Let's get our crossing loops and signals in, and then it'll probably be a little while before we can get a train purchase to run on it though. All right, so we've got our new sort of missing link type connection through to Athens from Charlotte set up now. Now, I want to talk about what I want to do with this line and what we're going to do with it right now, because we're a little bit short of cash. So basically what we're going to do, we're going to reunify our Hollywood line to run to Lexington and nowhere else. We will instead set up an electrified line running from Hollywood through to Athens, which will sort of cover this need, and we will not be splitting the sort of Hollywood line and the stations along the line. But right now, we're probably a little bit short of cash, as I mentioned. So what I'm going to do, we're just going to extend our Hollywood line to Charlotte through to Athens, just to get some traffic moving on that line. And then I guess once it's time to make the changes, we'll make the changes. All right, so I've got that sorted out now. Hopefully that will get a little bit more passenger service in here. Well, I'll tell you what, it has been a journey so far, and it's been a journey this episode. But we've closed an important missing link for our network. So we now have high-speed rail going through to Athens from Charlotte, and we've also got a connection from Naperville all the way up to Baton Rouge as well. So I hope you've enjoyed this episode. If you have, please give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and ring that notification bell so you get a ding to your device the next time I post a video. You can find links to all my social media in the description, so please jump on there, like, follow, subscribe, do all that wonderful stuff. A bit of housekeeping, I will be at PAX this weekend, so I'm recording 2 episodes of this back to back, so if I've made any stupid mistakes in this episode that I don't pick up on in the next episode, which I usually do, it's because I haven't had that time to process what I did the previous week, which is what I usually do. But until next time, I'm Bob Dendry. This is Transport Fever 2. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.